Hi there. I'm going to record a series of short videos to show you how to code the first 9 records. These are the same ones that are explained in the student instruction manual. As I do this, I'm going to go through chapter 3, rules 1 through 4, as well as the cross-reference rules. What I want to do is to explain the rules as we do these particular records, and I want to show you what your record, what your card should look like by the time you finish coding it correctly. So let's start with number 1, the filing segment, and that's what you call the name under which you're going to file something. The filing segment on this one is Richard Anderson. The first thing you want to ask yourself is this a personal name or is it a business? Because there will be some changes. In this case, this is a personal name. So Rule 1, indexing order of units, tells us that personal names are coded so that the last name becomes the key unit, which is the first unit and the one under which you will begin your filing. And then the rest of the name becomes units 2, 3, 4, etc. for how many ever units it takes to file. So the first thing that I want to do is to start coding this, and I'm going to put slashes in between each of the units. The first name is 1 unit, Anderson, the second name is another unit. Then the instructions for coding tell me to underline the key unit, so I will do that, and then to number the subsequent units, so then I'll put a 2 above Richard. Then what I want to do, and you'll see how this is used when you start putting your individual records in alphabetical order, one among the other. I'm going to, at the top, I'm going to rewrite the filing segment, Richard Anderson, in correct coded order. So I'm going to put Anderson / and then Richard, and then I'm going to code it again. So I'm going to underline it. Whoops, wrong one. I'm going to underline it, and then I'm going to number the units, in this case just the 1 unit. So now what I have is a correctly coded record. Now the last question I'll ask myself is, does this one require a cross-reference? And in this case, no, it doesn't. There is no real reason to cross-reference it. The first ones we looked at in chapter 1, is this an unusual or an easily confused name? No, it's pretty simple. Is it a hyphenated surname? No, there's nothing there. Is there an alternate name anywhere there? And no, we've never been given anything. And is there a similar name to it? No, there's nothing there. And it's not a business name, so we don't need to check with any of those. So in this case, this one we're finished with, and it does not require anything more. So let me go down to the next one. So is this a business or a personal name? In this case, this is a business name. So again, the Rule 1, indexing order of units, says that business names are coded just as they are written. In this case, we would code it then all about you, so that all is the key unit, and then we would number the subsequent units, number 2 for about, number 3 for you. So let's get our slashes in here. Oops. And then I will underline the key unit, all. I will number the subsequent units. 2 will be 2, and you will be 3. Now I want to rewrite this in correct coded order. Well, it's already in correct coded order, so I'm simply going to copy it, write it as it's already written. I will go ahead and underline the key unit, and then number the remaining units, 2 and 3. Now, last question, does it need a cross-reference? And there's no reason here, it's not a compound name. There's not multiple names in the business name, so there's no reason to cross-reference this. It's not an easily confused or a foreign name, so we're going to leave it as it is with no cross-reference. Let's go down to number 3. In this case, Lance Uday is the filing segment, and that's a personal name. You might think that this is an unusual name, Uday, and you might want to cross-reference it, but I'll let you know that we're not going to cross-reference this. Lance is a pretty usual name in our language. The other thing that you can look at is if you were to cross-reference this, the cross-reference key unit would be Lance. Well, if you look at the guides that you have for job 1, you don't have an L guide, which means if you were to cross-reference this, you would have nowhere to put Lance. So we're not going to cross-reference this record either. Okay, so let's underline the key unit, which is Uday. Forgot to put my slashes in. And then we will number the first name, unit 2. Now I'm going to rewrite this at the top in correct coded order. And then I will underline Uday, the key unit, and I will number the second unit. Now, if we go down to the next one, Jennifer Taylor Anderson. Well, the first thing that we see is the last name is a hyphenated last name. This is a personal name, and a hyphenated last name or surname is one of the cross-referencing rules that's given to us. So we can automatically see that we're going to cross-reference this, and what we're going to do is we're going to cross-reference the last name of Anderson, and I'll show you that in just a second. So the first thing is I'll put my slashes in between the units. Then I'm going to underline the key unit, which is Taylor Anderson, and then I will number the unit 2, which is Jennifer. Now, I want to rewrite this in correct coded order. Now, notice that when I rewrite it, I'm going to drop all punctuation. That's rule number 3. We do not use punctuation in coding. So I'll type the name and drop the hyphen and push Taylor Anderson together to form one unit. And then first name is Jennifer. So I can again underline Jennifer Anderson and then number the second unit. Now, what I want to do though is I want to cross-reference Anderson because that's the part of the name that you don't see. So if somebody came in and said they wanted all the information for Jennifer Anderson, unless I have Anderson pulled out and coded as a key unit, I would never know, I would never be able to find Jennifer Anderson. So I'm going to do a cross-reference, and I'm going to do this by putting Anderson as my key unit. And then Jennifer, the first name, will be unit 2, and then that last name that's in there will be unit 3. And I will code that, so I'm going to underline my key unit, and then I will number units 2, and now I have unit 3. I'm also going to rewrite this in correct coded order, and it's already in the correct order, but I want to get it up here at the top to help when I'm trying to alphabetize all of these cards. So I will underline Anderson, and then I will put Jennifer as unit 2 and Taylor as Unit 3. Now, the issue is, though, that nothing of information or correspondence that we have for Jennifer Taylor Anderson is going to be filed under Anderson. Everything is going to be filed under Jennifer Taylor Anderson. So what I've got to do here is I've got to be sure that on my cross-reference I have a note to whoever is looking at this that says, if you find Anderson, Jennifer Taylor, go look for Taylor Anderson Jennifer, because that's where any of her information or correspondence we have for her is going to be filed. Now, for our purposes in this job, we're going to number these cross-references as well, and we're going to use the same number as the original record, except that we're going to put an X behind it. So the cross-reference becomes record 4X. So this is how a correctly coded cross-reference will look for a surname that is hyphenated. I'm going to stop this series, number 1 in the video, and pick it up with the next one.